Hey guys, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks. And I've done something the last few weeks I normally would not do. I tend to think it's a bad idea to do it, but the way things worked out this year, I broke my own golden rule and I made a bunch of changes to my bike right before a big trip. So we haven't talked about it a lot in a video, but I've talked about it in some lives. We're going to Sturgis this year. And in fact, we're leaving in just a few days. So this video is probably going to come out about the time we leave, by the time I get it edited up. And normally before I would go on a 3,000 mile road trip, 1,000 miles from home, I wouldn't make a lot of changes to my bike. I tend to do most of my upgrades in the winter, and then I ride the bike through the summer, and then I don't do any upgrades while I'm riding it. You always risk stripping a bolt or getting a bad part. If you find out the part is bad at install, then that's one thing. But if you put it on the bike and you're riding it and you're out of town and you find out something like this new headlight goes out, you're in a world of trouble. You're gonna have to buy a headlight, or you're gonna get grounded by Sturgis, get tickets, big fines, or you're not gonna be able to ride, things like that. So I try and avoid those things. But this year, I got some products just in the last couple of weeks that I really wanted to test. For one, I bought a Mustang Codeland collaboration seat. It got in just before Sturgis. I have a touring seat I could use, but I've done 250 miles on this seat already, and I like it so well, I want to try some 500 and 600 mile days on it and see how it does. So I am going to ride to Sturgis on this seat, and we'll see how it performs. I also, just a few days ago, got a new front fender in. This is a wrapper clockwork slicer fender, and I didn't expect to get it before Sturgis because they've been out of stock. But the guys at the factory match knew I wanted one. We've kind of been, had it on order, and they got them in, they got it painted, and they got it to me in time for me to put it on. And I really wanted it on before we go to Sturgis because we're staying at the campground. If you're familiar with campgrounds, they tend to be gravelly and muddy and things like that. And one of the things I've not been real happy about the design on the new Street Glide is this stock fender. While it may look cool, the more performance looking fender, shorter, means you get more crap up in that radiator and oil cooler area. And with this being a liquid cooled bike, I don't want that. And we're going to Sturgis in August. It tends to be hot traveling, so having a cool motor, running cool is good for the longevity of the motor. It's good for my rider comfort. So I wanted to get that fender on, keep the mud and the crap out of that radiator, especially on this long trip. The new seat is hopefully not going to bite me in the butt, but now if I find I'm unhappy with this new seat, I am going to have an opportunity to swap it out because we're staying with a friend who has a toy hauler. He's getting married, and I actually will be riding one of the bridesmaids on my bike some. My wife rides her own, so I'm taking a touring seat so she has something to sit on that's a little bigger than what this seat is. This is not really designed for passengers, but it is very comfortable for the rider, what I've experienced so far. We're talking about doing a 1K in a day on the way back. My wife would like to try and do it on a Softail. I don't know if I'll use this seat. If I find that I liked it on the 600 mile day to Sturgis, then I'll probably use it for the 1K. If not, then I'll probably use the touring seat for the 1K home. The other thing I just changed out is my rear suspension. So I just got a set of Öhlins remote reservoir performance rear shocks. I couldn't not put those on before we go because I really want to review them. And this is going to be a good 3,000 mile trip. I've got a couple hundred miles on those, same as the seat basically. And so we're going to see how I really like them after the long journey. And then I'm going to do a review video on them and stuff. So that's another change I made right before we left that I wouldn't normally do. This headlight I mentioned, I put that in last night. I'm literally not going to get to ride with it at night to see how it does, other than I'm going to take a 20-minute test ride tonight just to make sure it's pointed well and stuff. I can tell from the initial install that it looks brighter than the factory headlight. I think I'm going to be happy with it. But you never know with a product like this. It is an Amazon headlight. It could go out on me at any time. I'm not as confident in the warranty aspect of it as I am with the OEM headlight that I've been running for, 7,000 plus miles, and as part of the factory bike. If I had a problem with the OEM headlight, I could probably go to a dealership in Sturgis and get one or get something done because I have a warranty. They're not going to cover this aftermarket headlight. other thing I changed out in the last couple of weeks are the tail lights. I put in smoked tail lights. Again, Amazon tail lights. I haven't seen any of the big manufacturers come out with tail lights like this. I'm watching and waiting. But I decided to try out these Amazon lights, and while they look okay and they seem to function okay, again, I'm taking a risk putting maybe more, we won't call them cheap, we'll call them more affordable products on right before a big trip. I don't normally do this kind of stuff, but it's what we're doing this year. Let me know what you think about that. Do you try to avoid putting new products or parts on your bike before a big trip like Sturgis, or do you not worry about it? Now, speaking of Sturgis, for those of you that care, we're going to talk real quick about kind of our plan for Sturgis. We're leaving on a Thursday afternoon, and we're going to do 400 miles, and we're going to stay in Council Bluffs, Iowa on Thursday night before Sturgis starts officially. I guess people are already up there this week, but I think the official opening is Friday. And then we're going to roll in on Friday. Our friend is bringing a toy hauler. He's going to try and get there Friday afternoon as well. He's getting married at Sturgis this year, and for some reason, he asked me to be the best man. So that's a big part of what's on our agenda. We're going to have several days. It's just us and our friends doing riding, doing the wedding and stuff. But I'm going to have a few days where I'm going to be rolling around Sturgis, checking out bike shows and like Cycle Showcase. I'll be there on Saturday for sure. That's on my agenda and stuff. So if you do see me in Sturgis, feel free to come up and say hi. That's if we're with our friends, I may just say, hey, I got to go, but it's nice meeting you. If I got time to chat, then I'd love to meet you and say hi. We get there on Friday afternoon. If we get there before 4 or 5 o'clock, we're going to try and run over the Buffalo Chip. I know the content creator meet and greet with the Badgers and Pro Monkey and all that's going on. I can't guarantee I'll be there. Just kind of depends on our 600-mile day Friday is getting to Sturgis. But if we make it in time, I'll come check it out. And that way, if you're at the content meet and greet, get a chance to say hi. I'd really like that. Sunday, I think we're going to check out Rapid City and Sturgis a little bit and just kind of chill after our 600-mile ride in. Monday, we've got some bike shows we want to go to. The pool party at the Steel Pony. There is Monday night, we've got a night planned out for the boys as a bachelor party. Probably find me at the Dungeon Bar. Our girls are going to the Tesla concert on Monday night, so the boys are doing something else. Tuesday, we're going to do Topless Tuesday. We're going to hit Topless Tuesday in Devil's Tower, Stonehouse, probably end up going down into Deadwood, that kind of stuff on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have to pick up a couple of people that are flying in for the wedding at the airport. And I think we're going to do the wildlife loop. Probably not Mount Rushmore, Needles Highway, and Iron Mountain Road. We did those just a couple years ago. I think we're just going to do a big wildlife loop through Custer State Park, come back up through Hill City, visit the dealership there, roll on up and hit Pactola Reservoir and take Van Auker Canyon back into Sturgis. That's a really nice ride if you've not done that. So that's our Wednesday. And then Thursday's all about the wedding. They are getting married over near Spearfish at a venue, so maybe I'll get to ride Spearfish while the girls are getting ready in the morning or something before the wedding. And then Friday, we're going to take it fairly easy and probably, again, do stuff around Sturgis and Rapid City, visit vendors, bike shows. I want to go see Detroit Randy's show Friday afternoon at, I think, Full Throttle. It's called The Damn Show. So Detroit Antique Motorcycles, that'd be really cool to go see that before we leave. And again, take it kind of easy because Saturday morning we're going to roll out early, and if the weather's good, we're going to try and do a 1K in a day. Now, if the weather's not good or if anybody's not feeling up to it, then we may not do it. Firecracker would like to do it just to prove that she can do it on a Softail. She's been doing a lot of touring on a Softail, and I think that's a great inspiration for maybe women riders or new riders people who are on Softails or Sportsters to see that, hey, you can get out and tour on this thing and you can crush some serious miles in a day on them. That is our Sturgis plans, and I'll try and maybe get a few videos out. But again, my focus this year is the wedding and being the best man and doing all the things I need to do to make sure that goes smoothly. So whatever I do for content is just what I end up getting done. All right, if you're going to be at any of those events I mentioned, leave me a comment down below. Let me know where you're going to be, what's going on, what things maybe I didn't mention that you really think I shouldn't miss this year. All right, y'all stay safe, keep on riding, and we'll see you in the next one.